The big days here, my people. The big days here. Why is it every single day, every single game, every single match day? It looks like it's the biggest. It looks like we're playing the biggest game of our lives. It looks like we're playing the biggest game of the season. Yeah, I think it's just because of how the season's gone. But man's not feeling too comfortable about this one, you know. But is it going to be revenge or is it not going to be revenge? Listen, we're not here specifically to talk about the game. I've already made my preview for that Newcastle v Arsenal game. I'm here to talk about transfers. I'm going to start a little Sunday gossip kind of segment and talk about some transfers that could potentially happen, not so much attached to Arsenal or not solely attached to Arsenal in this case, but there's some significant things happening around Arsenal. Um, it looks like the shift and the focus is really now starting to be around the summer and what we're going to do. We've heard all sorts of things in regards to a few of our Hayland products. I made a video about that yesterday, so please go and check out that video. It looks like we're going to have some conversations with people like Smith Rowe, with people like Reece Nelson, with people like Patino, um, Balogun, and maybe a few others here and there in regards to what's the, reaching up to this point, and obviously bearing in mind Arsenal's about to head to the Champions League. What's the best option for them, and what's the reality in terms of them having game time at Arsenal? And for a lot of them, and for a few of these players, it is non-existent really. And I think you're seeing them proactively say, you know what, okay, cool, man's gonna have to find football elsewhere, and so be it. So Charlie Patino looks like he's pretty much out of the door. He's doing great at Blackpool. I think ultimately we're gonna lose a good player, but it's just potential. It's all just potential. So don't don't overdo it too much, Arsenal fans. I think um, people like Smith Rowe will be a real loss in terms of the love we have for him and everything that he means represents for us. But injury prone players, we're not going to have the space. We're not going to have the room to accommodate injury prone players. I think people need to understand that. And you see, like me personally, I'm all for the club. Like I'm not really, I don't gravitate towards players like that. I love players that perform for us because players are what makes the occasion, you know. But I will never put player or manager or any individual above the club. Like it's always about the club. It's always about putting the club first. And if we're gonna put the club first, then we need to most certainly understand we're playing in the Champions League next year, and we need to bring in some real ready-made talent, people like Declan Rices of this world. And I just can't see us using another summer where we don't bring in, especially with the season that we've had, we don't bring in these type of players. And even if they cost upwards of 100 million, like that's just what we do. That's just how the world is right now. In finances, that's just what's going on. Like you can't, how can I say, like you can't try to shop in a market that is, you know, it, 100 million for Declan Rice is not a lot of money. And I don't mean it in the sense of he's 100 million type of a player. I just mean it in the sense of everything that he brings, the importance he has for West Ham, being a team that we know don't want to lose him. West Ham won't want to lose him, but they confined to lose him. So it's like it's a bitter sweet pill to sort of swallow. All of these things, like all of that, and he's a fantastic player. And he's somebody in terms of a profile of a player. Sometimes a lot of these, nowadays it's not so much about the player, it's about the profile of the player. If he plays to a particular profile, if he's a certain profile and that profile is needed or required, then you go for it. Do you know what I mean? So we're gonna have to go for people like Declan Rice's of this world, and even a striker. Like who are we gonna buy? Because you're seeing people speak about Osimhen, but I don't think Osimhen is gonna be someone who he's keen on leaving Napoli after they just won the league. I think they'll probably try to hold on to him for at least one more year, at least. And you can see how much the Napoli fans they love him. They're not going to want him to go anywhere. I think the Napoli president has also said that he's going to try to keep Osimhen for another year. I honestly thought that he'll be gone. I thought that this summer Whether they win the Scudetto or not, of course they won the Scudetto. Osimhen would have been gone, but I think he's now been crowned the king in Naples. He's being lauded as that guy that managed to get them the necessary goals to tip them to this title that they've waited for over 30 years, bro. Napoli ain't won a title in 30 years, people. That's a mad thing. But yeah, let's get into it, man. Let me open and share this tab with you guys here. So as you can see here, gossip, transfer gossip, and we start off first with West Ham. So West Ham want Manchester City 27-year-old England midfielder Calvin Phillips and 32-year-old England defender Kyle Walker. And what this kind of indicates to you, what this indicates to us is that they are already looking at life without Declan Rice. They're already trying to find the best profile of a player that matches him, matches Declan Rice, and they've identified Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips, he's somebody who has come into City from Leeds, and it just hasn't worked out. I think but Pep Guardiola doesn't like that. Pep Guardiola is mad. Like sometimes managers when they buy players and then they don't use them, it's kind of like, why did you go to the lengths you went through to buy him? Then I just don't understand. Do you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, it looks like West Ham are kind of accepting and embracing that they're going to lose Calvin Phillips. They're going to lose Declan Rice, sorry, and Calvin Phillips is somebody who they're going to try to target to get them replaced get it to be a replacement for Rice. Arsenal think they are well placed to sign 24-year-old midfielder Declan Rice from West Ham. So again, this kind of ties in with what I said. I think ultimately us securing Champions League was the nail in the coffin in terms of whether he'll be all right with that project, whether he can fully embrace Arsenal. Um, it proper looks like a no-brainer type of signing, isn't it? He wants to stay in London. He loves Arsenal and the way we do things. Secretly, he's an admirer of the club. He's lucky. He's an admirer of Arteta. God knows how that happened. Uh, he he said Champions League football. I'm a Champions League football caliber of player. I've been playing too many years not in the Champions League, and unfortunately, if you're not offering Champions League, then that's it. I'm not gonna go. That's not the case now. We are in the Champions League, which hasn't been the case for the last few years. Like it's a proper no-brainer type of signing. Arsenal really need to go and do it. Edu, you need to make sure that this signing gets over the line, people. Big man thing. PSG Argentina forward Lionel Messi has been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia side Al Hilal, a deal which could see the 33-year-old Nigeria striker Idian Igalo leave. That's crazy, what's going on with Messi. This has been trending and this is like it's all mad. He's traveling to Saudi Arabia without the permission of PSG the management and the hierarchy, and subsequently suspended for a week, I think it was altogether, because he wasn't permitted to take that trip to Saudi Arabia and discuss these sort of negotiations with Saudi Arabian footballing sides. And it looks like he's nailed on to leave. I honestly do still believe that there could be some twist to the story in terms of Barcelona coming in at the 11th hour and trying to sign him. They gotta shuffle some bits and bobs, but you can tell, Raf. You can see you know what Barcelona's thinking right now. How can we get Messi back to the new camp, and what do we need to do in order to make that possible? And if they make it possible, Messi's coming. I think at the moment they're kind of saying to him, look, we're not really there yet, so we don't want to stop whatever negotiations you're having with other people and so forth. Travel to Saudi Arabia, we know you're gonna secure the bag. We know you want to secure the Messi's a money man. Don't get it twisted. Like it's not gonna be no sentimental thing that takes him back to Barcelona. Like, oh yeah, we're not gonna offer you a wage, but you can come and play. Like he wants his money. If Barcelona, I still strongly believe if Barcelona provide him a package that they can legally get him into that squad and get him signed up, he's going. He's going and offer him a decent wage, a nice wage that he's happy with, his father's happy with. I think he'll make the jump back to to Barcelona. So yeah, so moving on, people. Let's have a look here. PSG want Messi to stay. and I presented him with the best financial offer available from a Champions League club. I mean, that's a myth. That's not going to happen. He's going. He's moving. Newcastle Brazil midfielder Bruno Guimaraes, 25, is set to sign a new contract, which will make him the highest paid player in history. I mean, it makes sense. He's going to be somebody who is, he's going to be a Premier League fantastic representative. He's been he's been that already since he joined Newcastle. I think ultimately he is one of the key forces behind Newcastle's revival, Newcastle's uptrend in form and in results. Bruno Guimaraes is a bad boy player. I wanted him at Arsenal. I don't know how Manchester allowed this guy to join Newcastle. Like big clubs. I'm talking Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham. Normally you go like these clubs will go in for people like that. But yeah, and he settled in very well. 25 years of age. It's a no-brainer. They're gonna make him the highest paid player because he deserves to be the highest paid player. Simple as that. Juventus want to sign English forward Mason Greenwood on loan from Manchester United. This is an interesting one because I feel like Mason Greenwood is going to start playing football again next season, no matter where he is, whether it's going to be abroad or whether it's going to be here in England. He will play football again. I think people are now starting to mentally becoming conditioned to the fact that they're going to see him again, despite the controversies. And it is what it is, bruv. I think probably this will probably be a strategic thing from them in terms of sending him out on loan, making sure that he sits nice and pretty away from away from the Man United setup, and then seeing how it kind of goes and seeing what how his form looks like and what his output will be in Juventus. And let's see, it all depends. Would Mason Greenwood want to go to Juventus? Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. Chelsea and England midfielder Mason Mount is a key target for Liverpool. Yeah, we've been more or less reporting in regards to that. It looks like he's nailed on to leave Chelsea this summer. Brighton's 24-year-old midfielder Alexis McAllister, a World Cup winner with Argentina, is keen on joining Liverpool. He's another one that looks like it's going to be more or less nailed on for Liverpool as long as they present him a nice package. I think McAllister will be wearing a Liverpool shirt next season. This was an interesting one. This one, Brazil winger Raphina, 26, would consider leaving Barcelona this summer. Arsenal want the former Leeds player, with Chelsea and Newcastle also interested. Bro, why do we want this guy? Why is Arsenal continuously being linked to Rafinha? Like, he's not it. I'm sorry. He's a good player, Brazilian. He can dribble past the man, but he's not. I don't think he's what we need. Like, I honestly do not think he's what we need, bruv. I don't know. Is he gonna bench Saka? I just don't know. Honestly, I think we should be going for a better caliber. It has to be the Brazilian, Portuguese speaking links with Edu. The fact that Deco is his agent. Edu and Deco, they're probably brethren. They probably got each other on speed out, and they're just like, mate, do you know what I mean? Like, bro, you did your thing at Leeds. Okay, cool. We wanted you. You said, okay, but I'm not really sure. Chelsea's come in. You thought, you know what? Chelsea, more money. Yeah, I'll go for it. Barcelona, who you really wanted to play for, they come in the 11th hour. You go, you get your dream move, and you haven't made the best out of the team that you actually wanted to play for, that you actually wanted to, you have dreams and aspirations, or God knows what that you. And then, so why are we gonna? What are you gonna like? I don't know. Maybe it's for cover. Like, if he's there for cover, then fair enough. Like, I wouldn't be too fast. 26 years of age. He's got obviously elements of Premier League experience, and I guess so. But I don't know, man. I feel like we should still be going for someone with a bit better. And can't don't really see the squad being filled up with Brazilian, Portuguese speaking players. I'll be honest with you, lot. Listen, I'm Portuguese myself. It's not a bias thing or anything like that, but I think that starts to kind of, you know, be a thing where it's like you get a lot of these South Americans, they move, they don't really commit for years and years and years and years and years. And when you start to build the core team around individuals like that, once one or two leave, it's pretty much a case of a kind of domino effect. So we wouldn't want that. We want to keep it nice and English core. I always want English core sides, Arsenal sides, and then you sprinkle the foreign talent around it. Tottenham may have to pay Bayern Munich 10 million in compensation to secure Julian Nagelsmann as manager. I think Nagelsmann, I think they're just kind of, I think Nagelsmann is thinking to himself, bro, is this really what I want to do? Maybe yes, maybe no. I want to get back into management, but everything is so up in the air. Everything's so uncertain. Is Kane staying? Is Son staying? Like, what's going on? And I think ultimately he's kind of pondering on that move. Nagelsmann knows, bro. Tottenham, they just don't have that history. They don't have a history of winning. So it's a tricky one. It's a real tricky one. Napoli are considering selling 26-year-old South Korea defender Kim Min Jae to Manchester United. Don't know too much about that player. And Xabi Alonso as well. Xabi Alonso is also someone who is in the running for the manager's job at Tottenham. That would be a sight to see. That would be a sight to see. Me being from an era where I saw Xabi Alonso playing football, right from the beginning of his Liverpool days. Um, the fact that he's a manager now, and see him on that touchline doing his thing, like that's crazy. Like when you think about it, so many, like man's proper getting old. You lot, like it's crazy, bro. So many of these dons, man, actually saw playing football. Mikel Arteta, John Terry, Frank Lampard. Bruv, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Like peak, like these men are now managers. Like they're actually managing company, Vincent Company. Just the other day he was playing for Man City. Now man's out here securing promotions for teams like Burnley and that. That's mental, bruv. That's getting old for real people. Make the most out of life because you're not getting any younger, you're getting older. Um, Former Spain and Barcelona midfielder Andres Iniesta, 38, is set to leave Japanese side Vissel Kobe to summer. I didn't even know he was still playing, bruv. Give it a rest, Iniesta. It's done, big man. Like it's done. Bournemouth and Colombia midfielder Jefferson Lerma, 28, is a target for West Ham, Crystal Palace, and Leicester City. Former Barnsley and West Brom boss Ismail is a contender to replace Chris Wilder at Watford. Manchester City want to open a new contract talk with 20-year-old midfielder James McCarthy after he played a crucial role in Sheffield United's promotion while on loan. Cool. So that's more or less the gossip outlets from a BBC sports perspective. Let's have a look to see what we're getting in terms of. Yeah, I saw that as well. That was actually crazy. Let me just share this Twitter tab with Amanda. Um, there was a mad, like Anfield is filled with boos as God Save the King played before kickoff. They weren't feeling it. They weren't feeling it. Scousers weren't feeling the whole coronation thing, and they let it be known, bro. I was watching it. I was like, "Raw, these are significant boos." But listen, I'm sure you will understand the reasons why. This is this this coronation and the money that's being spent on it in conjunction to everything else that's going on around the world. Listen, enough said about that. But yeah, or should I say in England, not around the world, in England, cost of living crisis and all that jazz. But yeah, enough said about that. But yeah, this is an interesting thing. This is obviously something I saw yesterday as well. Our away kit for next year, bro. Man's doing up high vis and neon with black lines on it. I don't know. Tell me what you think, people. Is this it? Do you want to see this? Bro, it's looking bad. You know what? Yeah, you'll be able. No one will be able to miss anyone. Like Saka will not be able to not know where Gabriel Jesus is. Party will not be able to miss Martinelli. Like it is a bright. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Congratulations, Chelsea. You finally took a dub. Congratulations to Chelsea for winning yesterday. How can I? You know what I mean? Like the Chelsea fans weren't confident themselves that they were gonna win. They were like, "Oh, Bournemouth, yeah, we're gonna get slapped." Da, 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 da. But Frank Lampard getting his first goal, incredible scenes, getting his first win, sorry, in his return. Incredible scenes, two late goals against Bournemouth finally gave Frank Lampard his first win since his return as Chelsea interim manager. And the goals were scored on Ruben, your boy, um, Ziyech, sorry, not Ziyech, Badiashile, John Felix, and Gallagher. John Felix and Gallagher coming under a lot of scrutiny lately, under a lot of criticism for their performances and their lack of output. But yeah, man, looks like Chelsea has stopped the rot and they are about to go a little uh they're going to try to get a little 1-2 result. I think Nottingham Forest is the only other realistic kind of game that they got this season in terms of potentially getting a win, um because they've got some real tough fixtures, Chelsea has. But listen, Big up to Frank Lampard. And to be honest with you, as funny as this may sound, I actually wanted them to. It's when you when you start feeling pity, uh, for someone or something, that's when you know it's yeah, it's a lot, it's a lot. But yeah, people, I'm gonna leave it there. That's more or less Sunday's kind of gossip that we've just gone through, and what the tabloids are saying. Um, People, as you can see underneath here, I am going to be doing my first watch along today for this crucial game at St. James's Park. To be honest with you, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it. It's gonna be a Mazzoline. I don't know. These boys behind me here, they're gonna have to do the thing, man. They're gonna have to really do their thing, bro. We are a better team than them. Yeah. We need to make sure we implement the ruthlessness that you've been saying, Mikel Arteta, that we're going to implement. Be ruthless, make your team ruthless, make your players ruthless, have a proper strategy. They've been firing all cylinders. They're going to try to start the game, Newcastle, that is, and get a feel for us. So we don't need to go gung ho and try to blow them out of the park. Let's just make sure that the passes are accurate. 5 to 10 yards, 20 yards to 30 yards. Let's just make sure that all of the players look like they're on their feet. Nobody needs to look like they still need to stretch a bit more. They still need to da 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 da. And then we start to implement our football. Because before the football, they want to fight. They want to see a fight. Newcastle will fight, so Arsenal need to fight too. It's as simple as that, you know. I'll be honest and I'll be real with you lot. And then I would like to see you guys there watching the watch along with me, tuning in, dropping some comments on the live chat as well. So yeah, people, man, I'll see all of you guys later on today. Come on, Arsenal, can we stay on par? Can we put pressure on City, you lot? What do you think? Write down on the comments on this video. Can we do it? If so, what's your score prediction? What like, mate, look at this table, people. Look at this table, man. Jesus Christ. How did this happen? I'll tell you how it happened. This is exactly it. These jaws right here. That's exactly how it happened, bro. But yeah, people, I'm out. I'll see you guys at 4:25, as I said, as I mentioned before, for the watch along stream. And it's gonna be a Mazzoline. Hopefully we get the 3 points. Come on, you goodness. Let's go. I'll see you lot in a piece. Peace.